Good morning! Hey everybody, how's it going? It's November 7th, 2025. It is Friday. My name's Malcolm. I have a cup of coffee. Let's talk about some stuff. Today is National Fountain Pen Day. Fountain pens, I think I touched one as a kid once and it got ink all over my hands. I don't know how people were able to use those without those things just wreaking havoc. There was a skill behind using a fountain pen. A good old ballpoint pen's good for me. That's all I need. And there's Dustin. What's going on, Dustin? How's it going? How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Haven't heard from you. You changed your name to Astralk? I don't know. That's a weird name. But yeah, fountain pens, and you have to hold them a certain way and do all this other stuff with I don't know. Fountain pens, I'm glad they're out of style. But it's National Fountain Pen Day if you're able to write in script and do the fancy calligraphy type writing. I think that's the only reason people still have fountain pens is for that fancy calligraphy writing for like wedding invitations or some garbage. Computers can do that now. Why you gotta have somebody with a fancy penmanship, right? With their fancy little pen. It's just showing you a nickname. You didn't change it. Okay, well that's cool. I got coffee right here. Dun, 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 dun. Always got coffee. Are you kidding me? Good old coffee. Never let me down. But anyway, I like the my favorite pen is the pen by Pilot, the V5, the really fine point pen. I like that one. But I use pencils when I'm doing like Sudoku puzzles and stuff, so I mess up. But I don't own a fountain pen. I think I never will. So yeah, gotta have coffee, Mel. Did you watch the WTF news about people getting, about feeding people and feeding things, feeding critters? I did a little members only video, consulted some of my viewers on how to proceed on that, and if it's a flop, it's a flop. It is what it is. Hey, Ray, what's going on, Ray? Thanks for joining us this morning. Here in 1966, John Lennon and Yoko Ono meet, which some people claim to be the downfall of the Beatles. See? Just leave those guys alone. They would have created a bunch of more songs. But no, some chick had to get involved, jack it all up, add to the drama. Well, he fell in love. He thought he did anyway. She was an artist or something like that. I kind of skimmed over the story. And then they had creative differences or something like that. I don't know the whole deal. I don't know the whole Beatles story. But I do know that Yoko Ono is blamed for the breakup of the Beatles. A lot of people think she was the reason. She stepped in and jacked everything up. Ono is odd. Yeah, Ray, tell us a story. Is it true that Yoko Ono crashed the Beatles? There's some other conspiracy, well, not conspiracy, but there are theories, I should say, whether or not if she's the root cause of it all. But they were all together, and then they met, and things started like breaking apart. I don't know. Yeah, Ray's up all night. He doesn't sleep anymore. He's a true insomniac. He doesn't know how to sleep anymore. He just stays up all the time. So this is like his bedtime right now. So, he should be in bed, but he's staying up late, eating snacks and watching YouTube. What are you going to do? The guy's, he's a machine. You can't stop him. He had an all night, still up all night. Yeah, I think Ray's just a machine. You can't stop him. Bulldozer, Oh, I got my coffee, but I'm still trying to fall asleep over here. I talked about sleep, and now it hit me. I'm yawning now. It was a weird night, huh? Well, what was it, a full moon last night, or was that the night before? You had the full moon. No snacks, just editing. Okay, that's cool. And there's Gail. Hi, Gail. Thanks for joining us this morning. We were complaining about Yoko Ono, how she destroyed the Beatles. We're placing blame on her. She's no longer around, is she? She's passed away, right? She can't defend herself anymore. But yeah, either way, what are you gonna do? It's the Beaver Moon. Why do they call it the Beaver Moon? That's just so weird. You get the Blood Moon because they look kind of red, and then you got the Beaver Moon. Why did it display some teeth or a tail? I don't understand why they did call it the Beaver Moon. We have the internet. We can look it up and see why is it called. There it is. Why is it called Beaver Moon? Because it marks the time when beavers are busiest building their lodges and preparing for winter, as well as historical season for trapping them for their pelts. So beavers are building dams and getting killed for their pelts during this full moon. That's why it's a Beaver Moon, if you want to break it down to, simplicity. But yeah, a Bucky's Moon. Oh, there you go. You had a full Bucky's Moon last night. Bucky's should have... I'm surprised they didn't, take advantage of that. And do something, some kind of silly campaign. You like a good beaver pelt? Sure you do. Yeah, I guess so. But that's the reason why. They're putting their dams together for the winter and getting killed for their pelts. Hence the Beaver Moon. I don't write this stuff up. It's right there on the interwebs. So what are you gonna do? Oh, time to trim your beaver with better light. If you're into nighttime beaver trimmings, this would have been your beaver time to do that. No Shave November. Hey, look at there. What was it? On Seinfeld, there was an episode, No Sex November or something like that, and they were trying to place bets on who would last the longest, and Kramer was he was done within a day. No sexual activity of any kind, and within 24 hours, he's like, I'm out! He threw cash down on the table. But anyway. Jerry Ginger, what's going on? Ever blended a whole cow? Would it technically be fresh beef milkshake? That sounds disgusting. And you would have to have a really huge blender if you're going to blend an entire cow. I don't think I would pass. I would pass on that. A beef milkshake. Hey, I'm not against a good slab of meat, a steak or a cheeseburger. That's great. But, yeah, that sounds gross. That sounds really gross. Thank you, Mel. It would technically be a beef milkshake if as long as it's a heifer. Now, if you did it with a bull, it wouldn't be a milkshake. That's another secret sauce ingredient. If it's a dairy cow, then there you go. Not all cows are dairy cows. So it depends on which one you grab and throw in the giant blender. Yeah, puree meats. Oh, no, thank you. I want to bite into this steak and chew it up. I don't want to. I'm nauseous thinking about it. Drinking it through the straw. Thanks, Seabass. Ugh, bringing that nastiness for us in the morning first thing. The intent of this little podcast is to get you off on a good start and maybe talk about some lighthearted things. Not a blended meat. I don't know, milk. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm not going to read any more of his comments. I'm blocking it. I can't do it. It's grossing me out. Here's your joke of the day. If you guys are ready. What do you call a hot dog on wheels? Fast food. That's corny. It's. I found this dad joke website. That was even a really good one. But yeah. Oh, Ray, really? Really, Ray? Ugh. You have to read the comments to find out what he said. No, I'll read it. He said, no cherries on top of the bull's milkshake, just as testes. Hard times require hard measures, but I would dread the day that I was that desperate. So yeah, the Wienermobile. There you go. That's the fastest. It's fast food. uh, do it on a PC. It makes 100 copies on printer. Yeah. Raw meat comment trend. I don't eat raw meat at all. I mean, like steak, I have medium, and that's controversial enough. Um, and when did they start asking you? When you're at a restaurant and you get a burger, they're like, "Oh, I want the burger cooked all the way through. It's ground beef. It needs to be cooked all. I don't want it raw in the middle. Ground beef should not be raw in the middle. Steak is different. Ground beef has been exposed to the elements. Okay, ground beef, the inside of the beef has not been exposed, so you can eat that kind of raw if that's what you want, and not risk as much health. It has as many health risks. But ground beef, that stuff's been, put through a machine and ground up and exposed the elements. And you could have hidden bacteria and stuff in all those little folds of the grounded meat. You got to cook that all the way through. Yeah. That's not good. How is medium controversial? Well, medium steak, people are like, well, you should have it medium rare. And if, you should be like slapped upside the head if you have your steak well done. Some people would think. So, yeah. Some people are diehard steak eaters, and they're like, you can't do that. You got to have it. It's got to be juicy, and it's got to have some of the raw in the middle of it. And it's just, I guess it's a personal preference. I like my medium. That's the way I like it. And just a little bit of pink in the middle, and that's it. That's good enough for me. You want your beef cooked all the way through? You don't want it to moo. Mel's like, I had enough of this meat talk. Let's get out of here. I'm done with this. Next slide. There's got to be something else better to talk about. How's the weather in everybody's area? It's going to be nice out here today. It's 73 and clear today. And then it's going to, wow. It's going to be nice this weekend, but then it's going to drop down to 45 on Monday. It's actually going to start getting cold. I'm enjoying this week. It's been nice out. I've been sitting outside during lunch, just enjoying the sunshine, the cool breeze, and it's just like perfect weather. It's just great. Yeah, this weekend, you better get your jacket out and get ready because it's on its way. It's going to get cold. I talked to a random last night on the chat that I had yesterday, and he's doing pretty good, staying busy and whatnot. He says it's warming up nice for them down there in Australia. Yeah, 37 degree. Cooler in Ohio. Okay. Let's see what this one. I'm gonna call him CBS. It just sounds better that way. Allergic to chemical in my own sweat, so I hate the worm. It would be very cold. You're allergic to your own sweat? How is that even possible? It's in your body, and you're only allergic to it when it comes out. I know you're being facetious, saying you're allergic to sweat. You don't like to sweat, but still, that would be weird. It's like, oh no, I'm getting hot. Stop! I'm gonna break out. It's weird. Are you being legitimate here? I don't know. I'm gonna have to raise a red flag on that one. Not that it's not true. There's a lot of things out there that I've never heard of that are perfectly true. Who am I to say one way or the other? I just have my doubts on that one. But again, I'm just sitting here sipping coffee, so makes you sweat. Makes you sweet orange, or are you gonna sweat orange? You did sweet on that. It says sweat. You did sweat, and then you did sweat again. I'm reading it wrong. You spelled it correctly. Can enzyme allergic to sweat between. That's weird. How do you stop? Like, I don't want to be allergic to sweat. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of sweating, but I'm not against it. It doesn't really bother me. But if it made my skin break out every time I sweated, that'd be crazy. I would have to okay, there's got to be a drug out there. Sweat, you're a druggist. You were a druggist. Well, I just misread it. I have to use trifocals, so I'm doing this right here, reading the comments, and sometimes I misread some stuff. It's a severe eczema. Damn, that sucks. Well, sorry about that. That's my 15 minutes. That's all I do each morning. I do other stuff throughout the week in the evenings and stuff, so stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, become a member, 99 cents. Be awesome. Compliment a stranger. You might make somebody smile. And